and welcome to yet another episode of We the People. This is a planet healer, and today I am inviting Mr. Abhinav Bajpai, who is the Chief Empowering Officer of Ubuntu community and also their purpose guide. So, Abhinav, you have such a unique title. If you could start by explaining the meaning of Chief Empowering Officer and purpose guide.
Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me to this beautiful concept, We the People, right? Love it. So I think I believe that same thing, and I don't like things in normal, regular ways because I think everything become boring. Everybody is just doing the same CEO definition. So I wanted to make it more personal to me. What as a CEO, what I want to do, and the term which I could connect to was empower. So that's what I thought Chief Empowering Officer suits me, and I can connect to it rather than just calling myself CEO while there's no connection to my own designation. And secondly, I call myself Purpose Guide because that has recently last year I found that one of my purposes, which is right now the most important purpose, is to help empower people finding their purpose. So hence I think Purpose Guide became a term I could connect to. So I just use terms which I can connect to rather than just taking them because everybody is using them.
Right, correct. So we are not going the conventional way. We are doing something different.
Yeah.
And Abhinav has been one of the first persons, at least in Calcutta, to start being so vocal about veganism as a lifestyle. So if you can just tell our audience what exactly is veganism and how did you start this journey of yours?
Definitely. So I have been on a vegan journey for last 8 years. Just for a context, so I was born as vegetarian. My family was vegetarian. Now they are almost vegan. Then because of my studies and friend zones, I started eating non-veg food, and for 5 years I ate that. And then I was a software engineer that time, and I could not connect to being a software engineer. Like I was only getting happiness on the 30th of the month, and I didn't want to live that life where I get happiness only on 30th of the month. I think you got right what I might want to say. So I wanted to do something which I can connect to again. So I found environment as my passion. So I became an environmentalist 10 years ago. And that's where I figured out the connection between my diet and environmental, like climate change, global warming. And I found how meat and dairy is basically in the center of all the villains. If there are 10 villains sitting, and which is the number one, meat and dairy is the number one. That's a shocker for you, but that's the reality. It was reality, but it was shocking for me. So I started my journey because of environmental connections. So for last 8 years, I have been living a vegan lifestyle. But I say that I've been living this journey. I don't say that I'm 100% vegan because vegan is not like vegetarian and non-vegetarian, like it's not a diet. It's a thought process where you don't want to harm any other being, any other living being for your own greed, right? But living in cities, living in the current systems, it's impossible to say that I am cruelty free 100%. You learn and then you unlearn, and then you change some habits. So I've been learning a lot, and I think I have evolved a lot, but I still see there's more to learn in this space. So that's how I became vegan. Coming to the how Calcutta came here. So 5 years back, I came to Kolkata for my work for environment, and when I came here, I was a vegan, and as a vegan, I have never had problem of eating food outside because I lived most part in Bangalore and Chennai and those places where very basic food is idli and dosa, which is by default vegan. But when I came to Kolkata and when there was any occasion when I have to go out, it was like this: I don't want to go out, or I should go eat and then go out, right? So that was a motivation that if I, as a minimalist, who's not like I don't go out like every weekend, maybe once in a month, but I have seen that people living in Bengal almost every weekend they want to go out and eat. They love eating out.
We love our food,
right?
Yeah.
So I thought that if somebody wants to try veganism and if that will go against their own hobbies like going out and eating, so for that me and my team came up with the idea that let's start something so that anybody who wants to change to a better diet does not have any kind of limitations, do not have to suffer of not going out. So that was the motivation behind Ubuntu, and then several other reasons which we will explore.
Right. So I think that's such a cool idea कि you can always continue your journey towards veganism and you can continue living a normal lifestyle of chilling, going out, hanging out, going to different restaurants, and what is the way to balance both by presenting or offering vegan options in a restaurant style or a cafe style fashion, through which we come to your initiative Ubuntu, which was, I think it was Ubuntu Cafe when we first met.
Correct.
Then it became Ubuntu Eats, and then it became Ubuntu Community.
Correct.
So what is it exactly? Is it a restaurant? Is it a cafe? Is it a community? What is Ubuntu?
Actually, so the reality is we were Ubuntu community, and we are Ubuntu community, and we will remain Ubuntu community. What happened is, so when we started in 2019, we started as Ubuntu community. Our name was Ubuntu community. On Instagram, our board was having Ubuntu community. And then there were three aspects of being a community cafe, which was eat, live, and share. So we had a cafe, which had a cafe setup. We had Airbnb, where people can live and experience being vegan or sustainable. And we had a community hall where people used to come, bring their potlucks, do movie watching, have brainstorming, discussions, and all that. So it was a community cafe, but then COVID happened, right?
Okay.
And COVID, I think, has changed almost everyone's plan, right? The direction has changed, mostly for the good only, I would say. For planet, it was very good. So for us also it changed. So from there, we had to shut down our Airbnb, we had to shut down our community hall because there was nobody coming. So hence we became Ubuntu Eat only for only certain period of time. But as now COVID effect is almost gone, so then we came back to our original form, which is Ubuntu Community. So now we have the cafe, we have small Airbnb, and rather than having one community hall, we are building community all over the world now. So we are going global.
Right. And I'm sure the things that COVID taught us, that lockdown taught us, virtually connecting with people has really, really helped you to build communities in different cities and different states, which also brings me to your not anymore new. Now it's an old initiative of yours, which is called the 5 a.m. Club.
Yeah.
So as someone who snoozes and dozes off completely at 5 a.m., if you could just explain me, what is this 5 a.m. Club and why is it gaining so much momentum?
Correct. So I was one of them.
Yeah.
Snoozing and never thinking about getting up at 5 a.m. So I think what happens, the process of, let me tell you how things start first. Once you start figuring out what is your purpose in life, like that's the first question you want to ask to yourself. What is my purpose in life? Why do I exist? And then you get the answer, which is not the complete answer, but just the trailer of the answer. So for me, that answer was starting being an environmentalist when I left my IT job, where I was literally asking this question: why do I exist? To work in this office so that on 30th of the month, SMS will come and I will feel happy. Is that the reason? No. So I became environmentalist. And when I became environmentalist, my next answer came through veganism. That now I think I need to focus on veganism. When I became vegan, then the next answer came like I need to start my own, I need to become an entrepreneur. Because I was just an activist, not an entrepreneur. So I became an entrepreneur. So that's what the journey of figuring out better answers of your own why, right? The more you take the initiative, the keep asking questions, you'll get the better answers. So when I was last year, 2022, when we started a small cafe in Mumbai, like Cloud Kitchen to be specific, with the help of a friend, and it didn't work well. We had to shut it down. So obviously it was a loss of time, money, and everything. But I think everything teaches you. So experience is something which is the most precious thing. Especially from failures, you learn the most, right? So from there, an idea was like a question was coming again to me. Why is this model not working? Why I'm not able to scale it while the world needs it? It's a good thing for environment, for animals, for humans. Why I'm not able to scale it? And somewhere, I think answer came through one of my meditations. So when you do meditations, it is said that meditation is basically like the prayer. When you do prayer, you are talking to God. When you do meditation, God is talking to you, right? So that's the definition of meditation. So when you do meditation, you get some answers which you think somebody has spoken to you, literally in your ears. And when I was sitting and I was doing meditation, I found the answer that people are not able to accept such a beautiful concept of veganism because they are not connected to themselves first. They don't know their own why. So when people are disconnected to themselves, and if you ask them to connect to other things like nature, like animals, like in sustainability, obviously they will not be able to get it because the first connection is gone, right? So that is where the idea, the initial seed came. So that means I need to work on a project where I connect people to themselves. And if they get connected, the series of connections will start. They will start connecting to everything. Right? So that's where the idea of find my why came last year. But how to do it? First is okay, what to do it, maybe why to do it, but then the next thing, how to do it. So I think I was reading few books. One of the most my favorite book is I consider it is like my holy book, right? It's Think Like a Monk, a book by my mentor Jay Shetty, which I read during COVID, and that actually gave me much more power of meditation, of mindfulness, of wisdom. And from there, so I started reading more books. Then I started doing few online courses. So I collected a lot of experiential information of how somebody can find my why, and obviously my own journey, because I was doing it for last 10 years from different professions and locations. I worked in 7 cities in India. So everything, I gathered all the information and just did a trial of, I just asked some friends that I want to do this program. I want to do at 5 a.m. because 5 a.m. is a time which is known to be most sane time. You can hear your own voice. There's no distraction, no noise. So only 8 people said yes. I was like, okay, let's do it. And I did it as a trial, and it was more like a brainstorming because those people knew me. So I was just like they were like sounding bored that what I'm saying isn't making sense. So yes, it is making sense. So then it became a course and course and course, and now I'm running a batch 8 for last 1 year. So it's just a beautiful journey, and the reviews and feedbacks are coming such that even I'm not able to believe that this is the impact of this course. Like even I doubt my own capacity when I see the result of the courses, because otherwise it's just from pure passion and some answers from somewhere from
Yeah.
energy.
So, okay, so we understood the what and the why of the 5 a.m. club. We also understood a little about how. So, it's basically by meditating, right? Do you also believe in chanting?
So it's not so find my why course is not about meditation.
Okay,
Meditation gave the course.
okay,
Course is all about, so it is a 21 days program where people around the in India, now the program is also running for European, and we are starting for US public also in the year end. So where whatever the people come at 5 a.m. of their time zone, and for 21 days I take them through some theories, some unlearning exercises, and some tasks where they do some journaling with themselves, and they figure out few basic answers about themselves, so they understand themselves through
okay,
listening to my experience, some unlearning exercises and some tasks. And then meditation is somewhere part of it. Okay,
right,
is one of the part of it. But 21 days program, whole day we do a different exercises, and
right,
it's just like you read a book,
right.
page 1, page 2, and the chapter 1, chapter 2, and on day 21 you get such a beautiful answer to your why that even I doubt that how is it possible that in 21 days, in not even 21 days, 21 hours, because you do only 1 hour, right?
Yes,
Somebody can get to that clarity. But I think that this the magic is in people coming together and creating an energy of community at that moment when 50, 60, 100 people are together, figuring out their why. The overall energy is so high that everybody gets benefited to it. If they will do the same journey alone, they'll not
right.
be
It will
there.
be much more
But
difficult.
as a community, they get amazing answers.
Right, right. Abhinav, you spoke about unlearning,
Mm.
which compels me to ask this question. We all know that since childhood we have been taught in schools and by our parents also that milk is very good for a growing child. Eggs and meat are a source of protein, are a very important source of protein. I remember our biology books used to have those diet charts wherein, it was one of the categories that was essential for nutrition. So, how do you think the education system is going wrong, or our parents are maybe unaware of this? They need to unlearn something and maybe change the syllabus, change what they are thinking and what they are teaching our future generations?
Yeah, that's a question which will demand unlearning from anybody
Yes.
who's listening to this answer. So first of all, if you talk about education system, even if you don't, if we remove this aspect of food pyramid, I think education system largely has failed us.
Yeah.
And the proof is in everything you see. You see what is inside the ocean? Plastic. It is said that by 2050 there will be more plastic than fish, or maybe there will be no fish, only plastic. Who has put the plastic in this ocean? Have animals put who have never gone to school, or the people who have gone to education system, they have put in the plastic, right? Climate change. Amazon is almost 50-60% gone. Who has cut it? Animals have cut it, who have never gone to school? No, we have cut it, educated people. Education has failed us from different angles, but right? You're talking about one angle, which is food. So, in my belief, the current education system has failed us, but that doesn't mean I'm talking about education from last 1,000 years. I think last 50-60 years, or maybe maximum 100 years, education system, whatever it has gone evolved into, that is failing us. Before that, also, it was more about bringing better humans out of it. So, the goal of education used to be making better humans. Now it is making better employees, right? And that goal,
nice way to put it.
yeah, and that goal has actually shifted the whole program. The intention has changed, and the program has changed, right? So now, if we just focus on one aspect of food, so like they are now want to make better employees, and also another goal is having maybe the disbalance of money right now in the system. So it is said that 99% of the money is in the hands of 1% of people.
Correct.
And then 1% of the money is in 99% of hands of people. So do you see disbalance? If this disbalance is the outcome of the current education system, then it's failing, right? So why it is happening is because a lot of wrong knowledge has been put in the work, which is only to benefit certain people, right?
Right.
Certain industries,
1%.
certain organizations, certain people agenda, and food is top of them. Because if you see consumers pattern, right? So these days it's called we are consumers, right? So means the name is only that consumers means you will consume, right? So you're supposed to consume. We are consumers. What we consume all the products. The t-shirt we consume, pant we consume, shoes we consume. But what is one thing which we consume maximum frequency is food,
Right.
3 times in a day. So a consumer consumes food, which those food is the largest industry in the world in terms of economy, money, because you don't buy iPhone every day, right? You don't buy Mercedes every day.
Right.
But the size of these companies, so big.
Right.
Even if you don't buy iPhone every day. Just imagine people buy food 3 times a day. What will be the size of the companies?
Right.
They are very big. They control everything. So there's a documentary which people should check, because I cannot tell what 1.5 hour documentary will tell you, but documentary name is What the Health. What the Health is on Netflix, where they have shown is this, that education system has their own investors, right? So there are people who invest money into education system so that the education system prints what these people want you to know. So food pyramid is made by these industries.
Okay.
Not by humans. Because now if you just think about, just if you zoom out from the planet Earth, and you see that this planet Earth is a space where thousands and millions of species live, and humans are one of them.
Right.
Right? And every species has its own food pyramid.
Right.
We are not the only one with the food pyramid, right? Even an ant has a food pyramid, even an elephant has a food pyramid, and humans have food pyramid.
Right.
We are the only species who learn food pyramid from the book.
Right.
All other animals do not learn from it. A small kitten, by the first week of she is born, she knows what she will eat, what she will not eat, if by her own natural senses. So
Correct.
food pyramid you cannot teach to anybody, is inside you.
Correct.
How do you get it? By using 5 senses. So when a cat smells food, tastes the food, sees the food, hear a food, and all the 5 senses, she knows that it's my food or not. So if I give a carrot to a cat, she will not eat it, not because food pyramid she did not study, because her 5 senses told it's not a food.
Correct.
If I give a piece of meat to a suppose cow, she will not eat it because she knows it's not my food, not because she studied it. So food pyramid should never be studied. It is inside you. Your senses are the way to find out. So when you are getting studies, then that means you're getting confused now, because your senses. Now, if I put right now on the table a piece of meat from the shop, okay, not the cooked meat, piece of meat, or if I put bananas and apples and mangoes on the other side, and if you get hungry, which one you will eat?
Yeah, fruits obviously.
Right? And if I exchange your position from a cat, what will she eat?
Raw meat.
Correct?
Yeah.
She did not study in the school book. You studied in the school book. Still, you chose fruits.
Yeah.
While according to you, this has protein. Because
Yeah.
your 5 senses told you that I can't eat this. This is what I can enjoy. But when you cook this food, when you put this masalas, which are coming from plants only, right? Haldi, jeera, masala, they come from plants. When you cook it, when the taste comes from the plants, then you eat it. Then you get confused. So if you use your five senses, you don't need to study food pyramid. In fact, if you study food pyramid, you learn something which is not natural.
Correct.
Right? That's why humans are the only species who are divided from the diets. We only humans have diets. A cow doesn't have diet. A cow living in Africa or Australia or India or in America will only eat green grass. She will not say, if I'm in America, let me eat meat. Right?
Right.
A lion living in any four places will only eat meat. She will not say, because I'm in India, let me eat grass.
Yeah.
Humans are the only ones. In Bengal, let me eat fish. In Gujarat, we eat vegetarian. In North India, we eat paneer. In South India, we eat idli dosa. We change our diets because we don't know what is the food pyramid.
Right.
So we need to unlearn first that the food pyramid is a scam. Food pyramid is from your senses, and once you start using your senses, when you go to a market, which food you see, your senses start telling you that's my food is fruits and greens, vegetables, sometimes some green vegetable, not even grains. Right? When you see a wheat or rice, it's not your food because it's a bird's food.
Okay.
When you see a rice, do you feel like eating it like rice like this? Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is a big topic. That's why I'm saying, see what the hell to understand bigger. But the whole concept of food pyramid, where the meat and dairy has been kept, was an agenda. Because food pyramid should be never taught. It is inside you.
Got it. So we got it how food pyramid is a scam and how the education system is not correct in teaching us that. But what would you say about doctors, right, who let's say I am sick, or I have maybe an eye problem or knees problem, joint problem with aging people, especially, they recommend fish, they recommend eggs. For growing children, for adolescents, they recommend milk. So what do we say about the health system then? Is the health system failing us as well?
Okay. So you tell me the answer first. Right now, if you go to any hospital, will you find them filled with people or empty?
Filled with people.
So if health system is working, then there should be no patients or less patients in the hospital than always fulfilled, like always house full, right? If hospitals are house full, how health system is working? Health system should keep you in your home, and only in emergency you come here and take treatment, right?
Correct.
But in hospital, if you go, if you want to meet a doctor, you will have to take 2 days or maybe sometime 1 month. Appointment is not there with the doctor.
Correct.
So you just need to observe things sometime, okay? Observe things and answers are in front of you. Hospitals having queues of patients and no beds available sometime shows that people are not healthy. So if people are not healthy, what we are doing wrong? We are doing something wrong in our lifestyle and choices. So health system is another scam. And I just told you why. Because it's not working. People are unhealthy, right? Especially we are sitting in a city like Bengal, which is diabetic capital of India. Right?
True.
In every household, you go, and I'm saying randomly, you go to any house nearby and you just knock and say, please can you send that person who has diabetes, and somebody will come out and say, yes, I have diabetes. In every house, you will find one person diabetes or arthritis or blood pressure or cholesterol. You will find one lifestyle disease in every family. How health system is working then? If every family has a sick person, right? Now the problem is here, just like I was an engineer who became an engineer because I was told that this is a good profession to make money. I did not become engineer to create better technologies. I became engineer because it was a secure way of living life. Similarly, even doctors do not become doctor to treat patients and make world healthy place. They become doctor because there is a good money in it. Good money, good name, good fame. Most doctors have this dream. If I become a doctor, I will have my own house, two cars. My son will go to US to study and all that. This is their dream line. They don't dream about that my clinic will be empty, because if their clinic is filled with the people, they are not treating people. Because now for a doctor, it's not customer, it's not patient, it's a customer.
Right.
The more times you come, the more money he makes. Ideally, doctor should be happy if patient comes once and does not come back. But right now, a doctor will be unhappy if a patient only comes once and does not come back. In fact, doctor says, 15 din baad aana.
Yes.
Right? After 15 days, come back again and then again pay for this fees. Because he wants to cure his account balance. Make that. So doctors are not also, just like engineer, doctor, I'm talking about all professions. People are not doing professions because they're passionate about it. They're doing it because they want to make money out of it. And when somebody is running from that intention, the intention of education, intention of people also change. They don't want to become doctor so that nobody gets sick. They want to become doctor so that they can become rich.
Right.
And from that system, you will never be able to treat people. So doctors, especially I have, so for last 8 years, just think about it. I went vegan 8 years back, and I went vegan for environment. I had no much interest on being healthier person because I was also not very unhealthy, but also not very much freaked about it, going to gym and diets and all that. But I'm surprised to tell you that for last 8 years, I have not got sick even once. I have not had a single medicine in last 8 years. According to the food pyramid, somebody who's not having milk, not having meat, not having egg, should have protein issues or some issues, should get sick more. But who are the people in the hospitals are the one who are following the food pyramid by the book. I follow the food pyramid by my senses, and for 8 years, I've not had a single pill. So doctors do not like me because I have not paid even a single money to them in form of fees or medicines. So I don't know where are hospitals, but because I get to know through my friends that somebody is going, and I know most of the doctors are themselves sick. You will find doctor having budi, what do you call it, matka, and then they are having their own blood pressure medicines. They are having their own sugar problems. How a doctor is supposed to be healthiest, right? He should look like a fully fit person, zero medicine life. But a doctor has his own medical box. So there is some problem here. So it's more about observation. I don't need to say this because what I'm saying is my observation. If you observe, you will find the problem. But if you do not observe, if you because they don't want you to observe, they want you to that. If I'm saying the health system is working, is working. Eat medicine, eat medicine. But is it working? Where are healthy people?
Yeah.
It's not working.
So, Abhinav, we spoke about the education system, we spoke about the health system also.
Yeah.
I have also come across a lot of vegetarians who are strictly vegetarians. They have a vegetarian diet, but they tell me that sometimes they need supplements in the form of omega-3 supplements, zinc supplements. ये सब हो गए and
B12, vitamin D.
हाँ वो सब जरूरत होता है उनको for health reasons.
Yes.
And we have also heard a lot of times, I don't know if this is a fact or if this is just a myth, that a lot of modern medicines contain some level of animal fat or any form of animal product. So what do you think is happening here? Are vegetarians also consuming animal products in some form?
Okay. So 8 years, no medicine. So obviously didn't have to consume anything. So when you stop eating, vegetarian are the people who are still consuming animal products in form of dairy.
Okay, yes, right.
And this is also a shocker, but because dairy comes from animal, so it is not vegetarian food.
Okay.
Because see, vegetarian, I'll come to that question, but I want to just put some dots to connect to that. See, vegetarians means shaka ahar.
Right.
Means shak se aane wala ahar. Shak is plants.
Okay.
Right? Which plants produce milk? The milk which we consume, right? There are plants which produce milk, like almond plant, coconut milk. But the milk which we consume come from animal.
Right.
So how is shaka ahar? Right? It is non-vegetable product. It comes from a source which is non-vegetable, hence it is non-vegetarian product, right? There is another concept product which is about himsa ahimsa. Right. But then you are just confusing yourself because vegetarian means shaka ahar. Right. Vegetarian is not means ahimsa ahar. Right? It's shaka ahar, means shak se aane wala ahar. So milk is having the same property of any non-veg food. Hence vegetarians have the almost same problem like diabetes, cholesterol, heart attack, like non-vegetarian food because the inside ingredient is animal product, animal cholesterol, animal fat, and everything else. So obviously, vegetarians also get a lot of same diseases. So they have to be dependent upon a lot of medicines, which obviously most of the medicines have come from testing on animals only. So they've tested on animals, they've used animal tissues, and for that. So, but now the science is growing so beautifully into cell-based or nanotechnology based, where they are not using animals for producing most of these supplements, right? But it is same time because it's still costly to produce any supplement without animals as of now because of demand and supply. So it's changing. So for example, I take B12 supplement because when I did testing, I had B12 deficiency. Now people use that as excuse. You are a vegan, you don't have B12. But do you know B12 industry is also almost $1 million big industry. But we don't have enough vegans in the world who can create a big $1 million company. So who is having B12? Non-vegans. B12 deficiency is not only to vegans, it's almost every third person or second person has B12 deficiency. But the thing is, vegans have only B12 deficiency, so it is getting talked. But non-vegans have cholesterol high, blood pressure high, all other high. So B12 hides in all the reports, correct? But B12 is a very common deficiency, and the reason behind it is because B12 comes from a bacteria which was in the soil when you used to take the gajar from the soil, and did not wash it so much, cooked it so much in the past, and also soil was having rich ingredients, not like so much chemical and pesticide like these days. So B12 was available in all the food, and people used to literally play in the soil. Like there were farmers, people working. Now you have tiles and everything. So we have disconnected ourselves through soil, and that is why B12 is missing, right? So either you are a vegan living in the city or a non-vegan living in the city, you are not gonna have B12, so you have to take supplement. So I take supplement, which is a vegan one, which is available everywhere. So its availability is there, but sometimes the price may differ. But as a supplement, if you see supplement industry, as I said, B12 is only having $1 million industry. If I talk about zinc, magnesium, everything, it is a $1 billion industry. And a $1 billion industry is not running because of vegans. Because we don't have vegans. So obviously, who is taking that?
Right.
Non-vegans. So people having deficiency despite of eating vegan or non-vegan, this only thing vegans have few, so they get highlighted because people have to put finger on vegan because otherwise everything is right, they will go vegan. कुछ तो उंगली दिखाना पड़ेगा. Something is wrong. B12 is wrong, but it's wrong in everybody. So supplement taking is actually, I think it's not difficult these days. You'll find easily without animal ingredients vegan supplements everywhere in the world.
Right, right. Also, Abhinav, we had one point of view. We heard someone say that how do we know whether human beings are supposed to be herbivores, omnivores, or carnivores? Herbivores like cows have only incisors, carnivores like lions have only canines, and omnivores like human beings apparently have both incisors and canines,
Correct.
which makes us by nature omnivores. So, what is your opinion on that?
Very nice question. So, see, you have to understand this that only by seeing the teeth shape, you don't decide carnivores, omnivores, right? There are other physical features also. For example, your intestine size versus your body length, right? Other digestive juices which you release, how your five senses work around the food. So, it's not only by, because then if I just go and do an operation of my teeth, and I can have my teeth, so I won't convert it to carnivores, right?
Right.
By just having operation of my teeth. You can't just say my teeth shape has changed and now I'm carnivore. It's just one factor, right? Not all the factors are dependent. So second thing is, one of the simplest way of finding difference between this is how you react to a real food using your five senses. Okay. So if you see a lion, when a lion is a carnivore, not because of the only canine, but because when he sees real meat and blood, he gets salival, like he gets hungry. When he sees, he hunts and he eats, right? So he also has canine hair, he also have sharp nails. So it's also not about canine, they also have sharp nails so that they don't need a knife to rip out body. Do we have that? No, right? Ours are so blunt, you can't even rip a skin of a chicken with this. This will break, right?
Yeah.
You have to use a knife, correct? So there are many features, right? While we are only focusing about teeth. So the senses. So when lion sees, smells, and tastes a real blood, voila. So that when lion eats, you see the blood on his face, right? He doesn't properly clean it and wash it and then slightly bake it or cook it and then eat it, right? That's not what he does. If you give him that, he will throw. What is this? This is not my food. But let's talk about humans now. You give humans a blood like fully real raw meat and we will puke. We will not even be able to sit near to it to forget about eating it. And omnivores like a dog, right? A dog will totally react, do an opposite. You give a dog a fully raw meat from a shop. That's why you will find when we go to buy a mutton piece from shop, we want as soon as possible. I can buy my mutton and I can go from this place because we are not liking the smell and the feeling of that shop where the whole thing has blood and the smell of that is coming and the goat is screaming. But a dog will stand there for whole day with the same enthusiasm that if he can get one piece and he can eat it because his senses, which makes him omnivores, tells him that this is my food. He likes the smell of blood. He likes the smell of meat, and he would prefer eating raw meat. If you give him biryani and a raw meat, he will eat. He will eat raw meat. He will throw biryani. But for humans, we will eat biryani. If you give us raw meat, we say, what is this? Why didn't you cook it? Right? If someday if your cook in your house cooks a meat and the meat is raw, not properly cooked, you will shout on him. You don't know how to cook meat. It is raw. It is tasting like a raw meat. The masala has not gone inside. This is not omnivores, right? An omnivores will prefer to eat without cooked meat. So we have to see the holistic
Characteristics of
behavior of omnivores and carnivores than talking about my teeth has that. But your whole nature is different, right?
Right.
That's why if even a lot of people, if you think about India is a country for religions, right? Multi-religion, multicultural, and we have so many of festivals. For example, Sawan, Navratri, and all that, right? Why people say that let's not eat meat in Sawan? Do you think any carnivores or omnivores does that process? Then let's not eat meat for 1 month because there is Sawan actually.
No.
Or let's not eat because there is a on Saturday. Like why we choose to not eat meat on Sunday? That's our food, real food, right?
Yeah.
No omnivores, no carnivores have that kind of process. Then let's not eat meat today. Today only eat vegetables.
Right.
But we do not have any rule that there are days where let's not eat vegetable, only eat meat. Right? There are no days in India where we say today let's not eat any vegetable, any fruit, let's eat only meat. There's no day like that.
Right.
But there's definitely days. Let's not eat meat. एक महीने के लिए मत खाओ, नवरात्रि में मत खाओ, सावन में मत खाओ. All that is happening, right? In this day मत खाओ, that day मत खाओ. And those are the God days. So God is telling you, भाई मेरा special day आज तो मत खा. If the God wanted you to tell the food, which is your real food, why will He stop you on those days? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So there's not observation is very important. Don't just adopt things because it has given to you. Observe it, and you will find it's like I'm literally a villain. I'm doing a sit-up comedy. These things are like sit-up comedy.
Yeah.
Then you feel that like we are very the most funny creature on the planet Earth.
Right. Let me share another very funny perspective with you. This also again someone was just discussing with me the other day that how if everyone turns vegetarian or vegan, it's going to disbalance the food chain globally.
Very.
And then that person went on to explain that if we don't eat chickens, there'll be too many hens and roosters in the world, and there'll be too many cows and goats in the world, and they'll eat up all the grass and the vegetables, and we'll have nothing, no grains, no grass to eat. So this is another perspective, and this is a very very commonly spoken about.
This is one of the FAQs.
Yes.
In this area.
Yes. So how do you want to go about dissecting this?
So first of all, I will say that I was one of them.
Yes.
Who believed on this.
Right.
For many years. Okay. And I laugh on myself. Okay. Like how a person like me, because I have been observer, but still this question fooled me.
Yeah.
So when I was trying to go vegan, so all of these questions were my blockages. Like I was trying to use these questions not to turn to that side.
Right.
Like this was the question I was asking a lot of people. We have to eat it because it's a balance we do. But then I think there was another version of me who was saying, okay, but let's figure out why it is the balance. Is it a balance or not? And then now let's see this. So if we are eating chicken so that they don't overpopulate, and then right now, like there are so many species which we are not eating. For example, tiger. And we know that they are going extinct, right? So if we want to conserve them, we should eat them, or what should happen? Why we are not eating tigers and they are getting extinct? We are not eating crows, but they are still balanced. So the thing is, it's a very specific question to support your own stand right now for chicken. But now, if you see biologically, a chicken, which I don't like this name only because this name is given to give them a food title.
Yeah.
The name of the bird is hen.
Hen.
Right? A hen, in natural way, she gives 25 eggs in a year. Okay, so she gives 25 chicks in a year. But in chicken industry, because that's not hen industry, it's chicken industry, they make hen give 300 eggs in a year. So we give them injections, hormone growth, steroids, and artificial insemination so that they grow 25, 300, means 12 times or 14 times more. So we are growing their population so that we can eat it. We are not eating them so that their population is less.
Right.
It's the opposite. If we do not eat hen, they will only give 25 hens in a year. Because we are eating them, they are giving 300.
Yeah.
So we have found the excuse, but we are saying it opposite. So we are eating hen, and that's why we are growing them more. If you don't eat them, they will never grow. No animals on the planet which we are not eating has grown soil. Do we see that? Okay, we are not eating that kabutar, and then everywhere there's a pigeon. Everywhere there's a pigeon. But that's a real problem in Mumbai, by the way. Mumbai, there is so much pigeon. But I'm talking about that so many animals which we don't eat, but they have not overpopulated, and the one we are eating actually has overpopulated. And there's a fact in a documentary called Cowspiracy, where that Amazon forest, which we have cut down right now, so we are right now heading to 6 mass extinction of wildlife. We're heading to that. So we have only 2% of wildlife left. 98% of wildlife is almost gone, extinct. Okay, 2% left, and 98% of mass. So there was 100% mass of 10,000 years ago, where everything was balanced. There are few lions, few elephants, everything was few. Now the same mass has gone where only 2% of wild animals are left, and 98% is by humans, hen, goat, all the animals which we consume. So 98% of the biomass is only consisting these 5-6 animals which we consume and us, and only 2% wild are left. So in reality, in factually, this question is a joke,
Right.
which I believed also. But then I give credit to my own open-mindedness that you did not fall for the joke for a whole time, and you went out and found the research and facts, and then decided to unlearn.
Right. Right. So I'm so happy that we are uncovering or unlearning so many notions about vegetarianism, about veganism. Another very talked about topic is how, okay, I'll just talk about myself. I was a hardcore non-vegetarian 2 years back. I loved non-vegetarian food, okay? Now, I think it's been 2 months, or actually it's been a journey of 6 months since when I do not like non-vegetarian food. I remember when we had first had a detailed conversation about this, you had told me कि खुद ही मन नहीं करेगा खाने का. You'll get that feeling from inside, and that has started happening कि अब खुद ही मन नहीं करता है खाने का, right? So I believe turning vegetarian is not that difficult a task now that I've done it. But turning vegan is a whole different game, because you have to leave dairy, you have to leave so many things which we in our regular lives we consume itna zyada कि we don't even think कि ये problem है, right? Like today you said dairy is also non-vegetarian, it's not vegetarian.
Correct.
But I'm sure 99% of the population will disagree to this.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, journey to vegetarianism we understand, but the journey to veganism, explaining people that milk is not to be consumed, that dairy products is not to be consumed. Most of the sweets, the mithais have dairy products in them. Most of the desserts are made out of dairy products. Those things are not to be consumed. How do we convince people for that?
A very valid question. And I would like to mention here about my own transition. When I was trying to, because I was a vegetarian, and then I became non-vegetarian. And then when I got some information about connection of diet and climate change, in 1 week, I became vegetarian. And then it took me 3 months to become from vegetarian to a vegan. Okay. With all the information in my hand, being an environmentalist professionally, I took 3 months. So that shows the struggle of change, right? So I think let's agree that it is not easy. Okay, it's difficult, but then is it worth? That's the question which you should ask. Is it worth changing, even if it changes slow, right? Because when you reach to that side, even if you take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 1 year, whatever, what benefits you receive, you will you will regret. Why didn't I take the decision before? And I'm telling you, 99.9% people who have gone vegan, they have regretted that. Then why did I resist being this, which is such an empowering lifestyle, mental health, amazing. Your peace level goes to another level because now you are not consuming the cruelty. And there is a spiritual angle to it also. If we get time, we'll talk about that. Peace level goes high, your sleep levels become better, your happiness levels go very high. You don't get sick. So usually, I don't say that every vegan doesn't get sick because vegan, lot of people eat vegan, a lot of people as a vegan eat junk food also. So obviously they get sick. I do not eat junk food because I never liked junk food to start with. So, but there are health benefits also. So everybody will regret it, but the journey is difficult. So I think the one of the first step is to convince your mind, is it worth or not? Once your mind is convinced, like how your mind was convinced last time that eating meat will be worth, and when you know that, then obviously you take your own step in your own speed, and that's what it's all about, right? Nobody owns your own transition, but you own your own stuff. Like I cannot change you. I can maybe give you some insights, empower you, but change is in your hand, right? So if it is worth, then you change it. Now let's talk about if it's worth or not. With this one thing to understand that milk. While talked about vegetarian, non-vegetarian, I agree that 99% people will not agree because this is exactly opposite of what they have known for millennia. Like at least the time we can go back and think about. Milk. Can you tell me the definition of milk? What is the definition of milk?
What is the definition of milk?
Yes. We read food pyramid and we have
Yes.
read studies, so I think should not be a very difficult question.
Milk is a white liquid which is protein rich, which we get from animals, which we consume.
Animals.
From all from different kind of species. We have camel milk also, we have human milk also, we have cow milk, goat milk.
Nice, very nice. Very good. Okay. So I think you have given a, like you have gone to closest to the right answer,
Yeah.
which most people do not give. Most people answer is this, that milk comes from cows and it is a healthy food which gives us calcium and protein, nutritional food
Yes.
required for our growth and our development. So you already told animals, right? Because you know that there are few animals.
Yeah.
But let me give you the complete definition of it. So milk is a liquid form of nutritional food which any mammal gives birth to a baby, provides that for the nutritional requirement of that baby only.
Right.
And the moment the baby grows to become little big so that the baby can eat the same food like mother, naturally milk stops.
Right.
And then baby never consumes the milk again.
Right.
Right? In this definition, if you put a lion or a dog or a cat or even cow, baby calf, they will fit. Only human will not fit in this definition. Because humans are the only adults who are consuming milk
Yeah.
from somebody else. And this is not natural, right? Like how can, because the definition of milk is it's a liquid color of food, liquid form of food for a baby only. It's not adult food. If it was adult food, my mother should have been making it.
Yeah.
Because I needed it. Why calf's mother is making milk after giving birth to the calf for my nutritional requirement? And why only cow, not any other animal? So there's a lot of cultural background to it, there's a lot of commercial background to it, that we can go deep in that. But once you start understanding that milk is not a food for adult, that's the base of it. Milk is a baby food. Number one. Number two, milk is the baby of, now just imagine, if my mother gave me birth and my Padosi also gave the birth.
Yeah.
And suppose Padosi mother is not getting milk in her breast and her baby is crying.
Yeah.
And she brings the baby to my mother.
Yeah.
Can you feed the baby? How natural it will be that my mom will say, "Pila deti hu." नहीं 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 आपका बच्चा हम नहीं पिलाएंगे. इनफैक्ट दिस विल नॉट ब्रिंग ओनली बिकॉज वी थिंक कि ये उसका बच्चा है, हम उसका पियेंगे, उसका बच्चा है. लाइक एवरी बेबी हैज ओनली माय मदर. लाइक अगर कोई पी भी लेता है तो भी क्या कर दिया यार, उसका काम पिला दिया जाए, पता नहीं किसका पी ले दूंगा. सो the milk and baby and mother is so close that it's only to my baby. Yeah. And we are drinking from another species. Right? So we did an experiment actually, where in a nearby lake, we went in the morning and we were giving milkshakes to the people. It was an experiment of breaking these, connection, stigmas and stereotypes that where does milk come from? So we kept chocolate milk, vanilla milk, and elaichi milk. And we asked people that if you taste it, can you tell us? We will give you a free sample of 1 liter if you like it. And then you can later on take the subscription of the same milk. It's a new milk in the market. And the milkshake is only 60 rupees per liter, which is cheaper. So people like, free milk, taste like that. So people tasted and they are nice. This is nice chocolate. Chocolate was the one which got the most vote, right? So they asked us, what is the new thing in it? So I that the new thing is written in under the glass. So you can read it. So when they put the glass, it was written dog milk. So they had this expression. What did you make me drink? Okay, so you don't like dog milk? It's okay. Then you can drink another one. That's a different milk. And they took the another milk and it was written as human milk. Yeah. And they did not like it. Even human milk, they did not like it. Okay, then you go for the third one. And then it was written cow milk. Yeah. So then we told, sir, it's just a social experiment to let you know that all animals give milk. And if I mix chocolate and elaichi and vanilla, they all will taste good. Yeah. This is soya milk. It's tasting good. Yeah. But why you have such a weird face when a dog milk came? Why you had weird face when it's a human milk? Yeah. I think you should accept that human milk I can consume. I am human. I can consume human milk. But with the cow milk, we did not have faith because we have been told this since so many years that it is not, right now the part of our understanding that Guy, Mani Mata, and we can drink her milk. But it's so weird in nature. So it's another joke. But once you understand about connection with the milk, what is milk, why the milk, what is the definition, and then is it worth me as an adult drinking that? Do I need it? You will understand it and then slowly take the steps. So take your own journey, take your own step. It's not gonna be easy, but alternatives are available. You have soy milk, almond milk, cashew milk, everything is available. Right. I don't drink any alternative because I have understood as an adult I don't need milk. Right. Neither plant milk, neither soy milk, neither cow. So we have seen a lot of vegans internationally also kind of stylize this lifestyle. Have tried to make it quite aesthetic. Have tried to make it position vegan lifestyle in a way that a layman who maybe does not have so many facts or information about a vegan lifestyle will think ये मेरे बस का नहीं है क्योंकि ये बहुत महंगा है. This is very expensive. Soy milk, almond milk, these things are very expensive. Buying an avocado is very expensive. I cannot have chickpea for every meal. I cannot have soya for every meal. Tofu is much more expensive than paneer. So maybe this diet is not meant for me because it's meant for rich people who can afford this diet and I really cannot do this. Right? So what is your view on this? So sir, the thing is that if you see the term vegan, yeah, obviously it's an English term, right? So it started in Germany, basically. From somebody in Germany came up with this term. But the lifestyle, from the belief system of lifestyle where we should not harm any other living being as far as possible, there is no tracking how old it is. It has been thousands of years, people living that. In fact, one of our religions in India called Jainism is totally based on this, right? In fact, little more advanced that they don't even eat the root vegetables, right? So, but somebody gave the term vegan, and then that term when came to India, so obviously people thought that vegan is what people are doing in foreign. So obviously in the foreign, their diet is avocado and quinoa. That's what they get there, right? So when their diet came here, it came like that the whole package. That okay, the vegan diet is when you eat avocado and quinoa and all that thing. But it was their way of being vegan, right? But in India, now if vegan means living, eating something which doesn't harm animals directly, then that means all plant-based food. India is one of the best places to live in the world as a vegan because in every state, the food changes. And even in Bengal, if you see, the Bengal, I have not seen, if you go outside and if you go to a vegetarian market, I have not seen such a variety of sag, vegetables, fruits, this much availability till now in any state in India. I have visited, I've lived in 7 cities, 7 states and cities. Bengal has so much variety of fruits, sag, vegetables. Like each person, small, shop they will bring this much area, and in this area only you will see 50 varieties. Some lal sag, some poi sag, some this bean, some this gajar, some this guy, wheat. You will see 50 varieties, right? And that's all vegan, right? So you need to understand that vegan term is foreign. But the meaning of vegan is eating something which is without animals. And being in India, that is the most available food right now. So your fuchka is vegan, right?
Right.
Your samosa is vegan.
Right.
Your vaguri and muri is vegan.
Right.
So it is available locally very much. But because the term came from there, it came with the vegan diet in foreign is by all these things. But I think it's a if you see tell me a cheap family. When I say cheap means somebody who cannot afford eating outside, right? So monetarily not very empowered, right? Poor. Their usual diet will be eating chicken biryani or will be eating dal bhat.
Dal bhat.
They will be eating more dal bhat and aloo bhaja, right? Which is vegan.
Yeah.
So vegan diet is the most sustainable diet. Only rich people can eat more non-vegan diet.
Right.
Poor people will eat more vegan diet. Poor people will eat dal, one sabji, one rice, and all that, and they will be done. So vegan diet is the cheapest diet.
Right.
Most available diet in India, but because the term came from this in India, actually vegan diet has a different term in India. It's called Sampurna Shakahar.
Sampurna Shakahar, yes.
Means when Shakahar, because Shakahar milk has been attached. It's difficult to take milk out of it even if I prove it with logic and rationality. So they have given a Sampurna Shakahar. Means now you are Sampurna eating only Shakahar.
Okay.
Right? So Sampurna Shakahar is a term if you want to use it. But people have said vegan, which is a foreign term, so वहाँ से आते नहीं. There are some misconceptions.
Right. So I guess everyone will be very happy now to know ki puchka, samosa, muri, everything, jalebi, everything we can continue eating.
Laddu.
We don't have to stop consuming these items to become a vegan. So I think the journey to veganism just became a tad bit easier by these products not having to boycott these products, right? Abhinav, we also spoke about something in terms of debate between vegans and anti-vegans. What is this debate between vegans and anti-vegans?
Correct. So first of all, this is something which very interesting for people to know, that I do not support a concept of vegan versus anti-vegan at all. In fact, I don't believe in vegan versus non-vegan at all.
Right.
I believe that there are 3 stages of human when we talk about lifestyle choices.
Right.
The first stage is pre-vegan.
Okay.
When pre-vegan means you did not know veganism.
Right.
Because vegan as a lifestyle is all about choosing kindness and compassion while living in life. Right? If you give a small child, irrespective of which religion, which culture, society, if you give a small child, a 5-year-old, a knife in the hand, and a hen, and a banana, the 5-year-old child will cut the banana and will play with the hen. Yes. He will not cut the hen and play with the banana. Right? Because 5-year-old child does not know about that his diet has to be a hen. Right? Because compassion and kindness is a natural value of everybody.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying everybody is pre-vegan. Means everybody wants to choose kindness only. That's why we do not cut our own animals. How many of non-vegetarians, 99.9% of non-vegetarians do not cut their own animals?
Yeah.
Somebody else cut. If someday you have to cut your own animal, that day you will cry. Then you have to put the knife on the neck of the animal. We don't do it because we are not good at killing animals. We are good at eating animals. and there's a difference between it, right? So that's why I say everybody is pre-vegan. They have not understood the bigger picture of compassion, like I was, or most of us are. And when you understand concept of veganism through these talks, podcasts, or any other form, you become pro-vegan.
Right.
Yes, you start liking concept of veganism. You have not still changed yourself because it is a difficult journey to be in the same society but try to be a completely different person. So you become pro-vegan. I like veganism. Let me try as much as possible. I will eat vegan food. I will avoid that. But if there is a lot of difficulty, I may eat that food. But I love eating more vegan food than non-vegan food. Okay, but I'm not able to change everything because there is so many aspects around me, family, friends, and all that. And from pro-vegan, you become vegan.
Right.
Okay. So these are three steps. So there should be not debate because even anti-vegan, vegan, and non-vegan concept in itself is wrong.
Right.
Everyone is pro-vegan or pre-vegan for sure because everybody wants no cruelty in the world.
Right.
Only criminals want cruelty in the world, right?
Right.
And we're not talking about criminals. We're talking about normal humans who do not want to cause any harm. That's why if you see a live hen on the road, middle of the road, nobody will put their vehicle or car on their body. In fact, most probably, people will stop the traffic, pick up that hen, take it to the side, will make sure that that hen doesn't get hurt. Maybe if there's an injury or something, they give the water, and then they will go on their own track.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where they showed their real value. If they were chicken eaters, they should have immediately run, killed it, and take it to the home. Let me cook it today. I found a free food today. But everybody will try to take care of the hen.
Yeah.
Right? So we are kind because of some upbringing, malfunctioning of our own culture and religion, which is right now anyways getting challenged. Everybody is challenging the old way of living, right? Everybody is challenging. Maybe somebody is challenging the way we wear clothes. Maybe somebody is challenging the way they speak the language. Maybe the way they challenging the way we have to get married. Everybody right now is challenging. Okay?
Right.
On a different level.
Right.
Nobody is agreeing the old religion and old values in the same way. But they are in their own comfort zone right now challenging, and I have been challenging for 10 years, hence maybe I look like a little more alien. But everybody is challenging, and the more you challenge, you will find your own way of living the life, which will be a vegan guided lifestyle, where vegan is not about diet. It's about when you choose kindness over anything to live your life.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what you said, I completely agree. And what we have also noticed that there are so many non-vegetarians who also have pets at home, right?
Yeah.
They have pet dogs, they have pet cats, they have pet fishes. And even if I am a fish eater, but I will never eat my pet fish, right?
Correct.
So I'm compassionate towards that one particular being, but not the species as a whole, right?
Good point. Very good point. Yes.
Yeah. And also, Abhinav, we have heard a lot about having a plant-based diet and being vegan, or being dietary vegan but not 100% completely vegan, which means I'm still using leather products, belts, shoes, bags, whatever. So if you can just explain our audience what is the difference there.
So basically, as I said in the talk, that vegan is a lifestyle.
Right.
Vegetarian and non-vegetarian is diet.
Right.
So vegan is more about how you choose to live your life.
Right.
From all the angles of all the consumption, all the two things you choose. But you need to start somewhere.
Right.
And as I said, maximum consumption of anything which we do is food. We don't buy leather shoes every day. We don't buy leather purse every day. But food every time we buy, every day, every next meal is bought somewhere, right? From some place. So your choices can change easily on the diet.
Right.
But because suppose if I became vegan today, suppose I became vegan only today. So next meal, I will buy vegan.
Right.
But if I already have a leather belt,
yeah, I'm not gonna throw it away.
Right? I'm not gonna throw it.
Yeah.
Right? But if I have to buy next time, I will try to avoid it.
Right.
But people may start questioning it that you are a vegan, throw this. But then that's totally doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
There's no cruelty which I am doing right now by wearing the belt. Yes, when it was made, it was done. I paid for it. I'm sorry for it. I will not repeat it.
Right.
Just like my meal, because every new meal is a new cruelty.
Right.
Right? So that is where people actually try to take their step by step. First they go plant-based, which is the immediate cruelty, and then slowly they have to buy next. And mostly leather belt are like 10 year, 20 year. If you use them properly, for lifetime, right? So they will always wear leather belt because it's lifelong valid warranty. But when they have to change, they will change. The next product they will buy the plant-based leather or the leather. So I think that's the thing that people can confuse it. But also there are some people who are health-based vegan. So people who are health-based vegan, so they do it only for the physical health, like cholesterol has gone high or some immunity issue or something like that. Diabetes has gone, sugar level has gone high. So plant-based food has amazing results on reversing these diseases. So people have done it for that only. So hence they are dietary vegan, which is plant-based. So they are not connected to the angle of animal cruelty or climate change, which will take some time. Like most people take the first step for health reasons or environment reasons, and then ultimately they connect to animal reasons because that's the most beautiful reason. Because you connect to your value then, because you will not harm any animal. So why will you pay money for that? But that people take some time. Like everybody is a different person or a different journey. I don't judge anybody. They are on their own space. That's why I say pre-vegan, pro-vegan, vegan. Wherever you are, I'm happy for you.
Also, there's another concept of mock meats, right? So, if I am pre-vegan, that means I am compassionate by birth. I don't want to eat meat. Then why is it that vegans need mock meat to maybe make the transition or make the switch, or even when they have completely transitioned, they want to consume mock meat? Why is that happening?
So, most of the time, vegans don't want to eat mock meat.
Okay.
It is the pro-vegan who want to eat mock meat.
Okay, who is trying to transition.
Correct.
Okay.
People who are born to veganism, they very rarely they eat mock meat. Because as you said rightly, it is an alternative for you to transition. But the transition when it is done, for example, when you smoke cigarette, you go from there to nicotine. Right? That's a transition. Once you leave it, then you don't eat nicotine, right? So, and because they are very less vegan, we are more pro-vegan now. In the world right now, more pre-vegan and more pro-vegan. The hence mock meat is very required for those people, right? But most vegans do not eat mock meat. That's one number one. But that doesn't mean vegans never eat mock meat. Now the thing is, because in a way, when you are born in a culture and society, and your base is created on certain amount of certain learning, like for example, texture of food, taste of food, smell of food, look of food. Maybe your brain has evolved into understanding that I don't want to harm animals, but your taste bud does not have its own consciousness, right? Your consciousness is there to choose, but your taste bud is still craving for something like that. So for the craving part, they may use something, but it has been happening for many years. For example, jackfruit has been called as gaspata, which is the mutton from the plants, for many years. And that is what when people wanted to eat vegetarian on Saturdays, but they wanted to eat something like mutton, they started making gaspata. I mean, jackfruit is called gaspata. So mock meat concept is very old. It's not that now we are doing it. So I heard the story. Bengalis can confirm it more that dhokar dalna was made because people when they left eating fish or they did not want to eat fish, they wanted to create something which looks like a fish and can be cooked like a fish. And that's how dhokar dalna concept came. Something shaped as a fish. Right? So people have been working with creating vegetarian food looking like soya nuggets. Soya nuggets, right? They're
chicken nuggets.
They're chicken nuggets, right? So mock meat has been there for many years. Now it's becoming more popular as a term as mock meat, but it has been for many years, and mostly pre and pro vegan are consuming them.
Right. So, Abhinav, I think we've learned a lot today. Quickly, if you could just share, first 3 things or 3 tips that anyone should do on their journey towards veganism.
First of all, I would say, why will you take the journey itself, right? So there has to be some driving reasons for you. If you like either animals, or you want to remain healthy, or you want to be an environment friendly person. If any of 3 of these you don't want to be part of, you may not find a motivation to even start a journey. But the good thing is, almost everybody wants at least one of these. There are hardly any person who says, I will not be healthy, don't care for environment, I don't care for animals. Those people are less. And that's the only hope in the world right now, that those people are less. If they become more, hope is gone. So the motivation has to be clear that I want to do this for this. And then watch some documentaries. As I said, What the Health is very good if you are What the Health and Game Changer. The both documentaries uses science and facts to tell you why the food is designed like that. Cowspiracy is made by Leonardo DiCaprio. He produced that documentary because the documentary was so powerful. Nobody was giving it money because it was exposing the money in the system. But it is on environment side. So if you are interested in environment, watch Cowspiracy on Netflix. And if you want to know about animals, you can watch Maka Doodh, which is produced by my friend Harshat Atmakuri. An Indian documentary Maka Doodh, where he has exposed the dairy industry in all over the India, left like south, west, north, east, everywhere. Or you can watch Dominion, which is the global documentary on that. So you inform yourself that if I want to take a journey, let me know more about it. And then once you know more, third thing I will tell is that suppose now you got enough motivation to try it out. So you have become from pre to pro. On piece of paper, write every food product which you consume which comes from animals. So maybe you will write 20 items, right? Write every item. Now don't write milk, meat, fish like that. Like even milk with what item? Curd, butter, cheese, right? Paneer, all the items. And then say that give the what are the most favorite of you? Five most favorite items of you. Give them the rank. Number one, the most favorite. I love this.
Cheese.
Number two.
Butter.
Number three.
Dahi.
Number four.
I don't know. I think vanilla. Ice cream, yeah.
Right? Number five.
Chocolate.
Chocolate, right? Don't leave them.
Okay.
Keep eating them.
Yeah.
If they're most favorite, you have emotional connection with them.
Yeah.
Rest of them, leave them.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have a list where almost 50% of your daily consumption will be gone off if you just leave those which are not already your favorite.
Right.
The problem happens when people start thinking about the favorite things they have to leave.
Yeah. And then
I can't leave that chocolate,
Yeah.
that ice cream, and that's why I cannot leave even the some things I don't like. You can
Right.
leave. You can start from there. So you start from the lowest important thing in that.
Right.
This week I'll leave this, next week this, next week. And by the time you leave this, you will be so much happy person that these five things you will be also ready to change. And even if you don't change, you have already reduced 50% of your daily consumption. That means your environmental impact, your cruelty impact, your health
Right.
impact has gone 50% less.
Right.
That's a win.
Yes.
Right? You should just go for that win.
Yes, like we say, something is better than nothing. And on the journey of sustainability, even if you take one step, it's better than not starting at all.
Exactly.
Right. I just quickly want to touch upon another question which we missed earlier,
Yeah.
which was a lot of people who are hardcore into fitness, who are hardcore into gymming, who are hardcore into maintaining a certain kind of physique. A, they will say that meat consumption is very important for me for protein consumption. B, even if they will leave meat consumption, eggs is something which any fitness freak or anyone going for fitness as a career would not want to leave. In fact, I know people who want to consume 24 to 36 to 40 eggs a day just to maintain that kind of physique or fitness level or diet. What is the solution to that? Is it really required?
So it is not.
Okay.
It is not required. Now, because I don't have the specific expertise in that field, I will recommend audiences to watch a documentary called Game Changer, which I created. So, Game Changer. So, now, interesting part of Game Changer is Game Changer is produced by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the ideal person for every gym will have definitely a poster of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right?
Yeah.
He has been the idol for gym goers and
Right.
fitness. And last year, he became vegan. If Arnold Schwarzenegger, with that fitness level, can decide to go vegan, not only vegan, he decided to make a documentary to tell a fitness enthusiast it is wrong to eat meat. He said in his interview that I have advertised meat by saying that real man eats meat. That's what his statement when he was advertising the face of the meat industry. And he said, I said it because I was paid money to say that. I only said this not because I believed in this. I said it because I was paid money to say that. But in real, he said that I got so late with information, but now I'm undoing what I have done, the mistakes with my own stories. So he produced a documentary, Game Changer, where world's top athletes, if you know Novak Djokovic, right? Back-to-back Grand Slam champion. He's a vegan. Okay. Lewis Hamilton, back-to-back Formula One racer. He's a vegan. Patrick Momian, German. He is one of the strongest person in the planet Earth. He takes 4 humans on his shoulder and he walks. He's like God. Like 4 humans on an iron bar standing on the shoulder and he walks for 100 some meters. He has a world record. He is a vegan.
Wow.
Okay. And you forget about human. Who is the strongest animal on the planet Earth right now? Strength-wise.
Elephant. Yeah.
What do they eat?
Grass.
Second strongest animal is rhinoceros.
Okay.
Strength-wise.
Yeah.
What do they eat? Grass. The third one is gorilla.
Yeah.
What do they eat?
Bananas.
Bananas and fruits, right?
Yeah.
Why people say strongest is lion? But lion do not hunt elephants, rhinoceros, and gorilla. Because if 1-to-1, if the done is that, the lion will defeat. A gorilla, the strength of gorilla is so much that gorilla can literally put the hand in lion's mouth and can tear into half. That's the power of gorilla.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a gorilla do not hunt these 3 animals.
Yeah.
To kill one elephant, you need at least 5 to 6 lions. One elephant. So these are the strongest animals.
Yeah.
Strength-wise. They are also calmer because they eat plants. Right?
Right.
They don't show off their strength.
Right.
So if you have to become a strong, then see the lions. So no, see the elephants, not the lions. And then you will get the answer. They are the strongest one and they eat plants.
Right.
So this is something basic level, but see the Game Changer, know about it. There's a beautiful community of physicians in the world. They call physician PCRM, Physician Committee for Research in Medicine.
Okay.
They have been talking about this concept on the website. They are the largest physician committee in the world who were talking about plant-based nutrition and how that is the only way to become fit and healthy. And there are so many now. Virat Kohli went vegan.
Yeah.
He is in India. Sunil Chhetri became vegan. What do you want?
So I think there's enough advertising happening from athletes all around the world and our favorite athletes in India as well. Thank you so much, Abhinav, for sharing so many facts with us. I'm sure after watching these episodes, सबके मन में एक दो सवाल तो उठेंगे ही. सब लोग थोड़ा तो रिसर्च करेंगे. Even if they don't completely switch, at least they will question their actions and they will get motivation to take the first step. Take baby steps. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And we will be back with you in yet another episode of We the People. तब तक सबको बताओ waste करना.